Hello everybody, welcome back to the Spoked Wheel YouTube channel. Today we're back with episode 11 of our Andy Schleck Pro Cyclist mode. Last time out we got through our second objective of the season where we came 7th, I believe, against some pretty tough climbing competition. And today we have basically the first half of the Flèche du Sud, a stage race, 5 stages in total. We're probably going to do the first 3 today, taking place in Luxembourg, so home country for both Andy Schleck and the Leopard cycling team that we ride for. So it should be exciting. I think stages 3 and 4 here, a little bit punchy, might be a couple chances to get decent results, so who knows, that could even translate into a good GC result if things play out well for us. So let's get right into it. We'll try and do the first 3 stages today. These 2 flat ones. The first one's 75 kilometers, 147 kilometers, and then 140 kilometers with much more punchy terrain involved for the finale. We're underway in stage 1 of the Flèche du Sud, and our team has designated us as the leader for this race, which makes sense given those 2 punchier stages in the middle of it. Unfortunately, they also want us to finish first in the GC after today's stage, which just doesn't really look possible based on that finishing terrain. Maybe there's a chance to attack over that final little climb. There is a little bit of steep gradients there on the uphill portion, but I would have said going in that this was one for the sprinters today, so we'll have a look as we get closer and see if there actually is a chance to maybe try and attack on that climb, but I would not anticipate us successfully finishing first in the GC, but the fact that we're the leader is a good sign for later on in the race. So we're headed into the final few kilometers now, 8.5 to go, and we're gonna have a try over this final little climb. I think it's steep enough that we could potentially make a difference, and our team wants us to try, so why not? I think tomorrow's stage is flat enough that we can recover before we get into those actual punchy, hilly stages that will theoretically decide the race. So we're going to use our teammate Mauro Schmid here to lead us into this climb, and now once we get on these steeper gradients, we'll try and attack. Really not a lot of length in the climb, so not too surprising that that's the result. Everyone just following on the wheel, but we did cause a bit of a split, so I'll keep driving it here into the final few kilometers. But chances are we're gonna get past here, I would guess. Although, now that I've said that, yeah, no. Just ran out of gas a little bit there, and the sprinters, Jones, Watter, and David Decker, come around us, so we'll get a top 10, I think. Definitely not going to finish first on GC like our team wanted, but we tried, and got a decent top 10, plus our teammate got 4th, so that's a pretty good day for the team, I think. We're into stage 2 now of the Flèche du Sud. Basically the exact same situation with our team. We are the designated leader, and they want us to end the day in first place on general classification. Again, not really super likely to happen. It looks like the little climb in the final few kilometers this time around has a bit more length than the one in the first stage, so I think we'll basically just do the same thing that we did in stage 1, and just try and use that very last climb as a launching pad. Chances are we won't make too much headway, and it's going to come down to a sprint again, but once again, there's really no harm in trying. Worst case scenario, we just get past like we did last time and finish somewhere in the top 10 or top 20, and if we actually manage to pull off the win, then the team will be very happy with us. So that's the plan. We're gonna give it our best over that final climb, and we'll see what happens. We're once again into the final few kilometers here. A couple moves going off the front of the peloton as we head into the final climb. There's definitely a chance to attack. I think it's steep enough. So let's go now that we're on the lower slopes. Looks like we're getting a gap straight away, which is great news. Once we get up over the top, it should be about just outside of 5 kilometers to go to the line. So I think there's a chance we could hold on. That rider is not actually with us. He's further behind. Let's put it up to 95 effort here. Try and use all our energy that we have, basically. Let's even go to 99. We have plenty of yellow energy. The pack is closing fairly quickly. We're inside of the final 3 kilometers. We still have about 20 seconds. It's going to be close. It kind of looks like they aren't chasing too hard, so I think we might have a shot. We're about to enter the final kilometer here. Let's engage sprint and look back. Here come the sprinters. Oh, it's a repeat of stage 1. We were closer this time. David Decker takes the win. We'll have to settle for 5th place. I thought we had a shot at the victory there at the end, but just a bridge too far, I guess, in terms of distance after coming off that final climb. But there's also no shame in losing to someone like David Decker, who in the real world is currently riding with Jumbo-Visma and is a very promising prospect for the Northern Classics in the future. So close twice, but hopefully we'll have better luck now that the race is entering into the actual punchy stages that should suit us better. Okay, so we're into stage 3 at the Flèche du Sud, which really I think is our first of 2 real opportunities to make our mark on this race. If we're going to win it, it's going to happen on stages 3 and 4. Unfortunately, our fitness peak has ended at this point, so we're not getting the nice benefits here. We're basically down to our base stats with a couple -1s. And our team objectives are mostly the same. We're the leader again. They want us to finish first in the general classification, but they also gave us the specific instructions of winning the stage today. So I think it's possible. Those are some significant climbs in the final few kilometers of the race. In the magazine beforehand, we were one of the 1-star favorites, so they thought we had a chance to be up there, but they did not consider us to be an outright favorite for the win today. So I think our plan is basically going to be what it was for the past 2 stages, I guess. Get to that final climb near the front of the race and hopefully attack and make a difference. As you can see, that climb is super steep and is more sustained, so the opportunity to actually make a difference and use our climbing ability should be there. And before that, we'll just try and hang on and stay in the best possible position over the other climbs that are on the menu today. I don't really know how confident I am in winning, just because I'm not all that familiar with every rider in this race. Oscar Sevilla, I think, was one of the other favorites, so he's been around the block a few times. He's a decent rider for this type of terrain, but we're just going to use our teammates if possible and just, I guess, try our best once we get to that final climb to see if we can't get away from everyone and hopefully hold on for the win this time. We're now heading towards the final climb of the day. The race is definitely splitting up a fair amount as we go uphill. We're already, well, I guess not already because there's only 12 kilometers to go, but we're down to 37 riders, so there's a lot of riders who haven't been able to follow the pace, basically. And there's a few riders here who are going pretty hard on this climb. Let's not get caught too far back. I'm not sure where Oscar Sevilla is. And let's try and attack right here into this steeper section. Just outside of 10 kilometers to go. Got a few riders marking us. but we do manage to get a gap. Let's put it on 85 for now. I don't want to go too deep in case the other riders come back, which a few of them are. Let's stick it on relay. We have Diaz and Stedman for company right now. There is a bit of a descent here, so we might be able to recover some energy as we go downhill. It's a 9-second gap back to the next group. There's not really a main chasing group, I guess, which is encouraging. There's just riders in bits and pieces all over the road. We don't really have a ton of energy here as we're inside of 5 kilometers to go. Canyon has a couple riders, so it looks like they're using Stedman to ride for Pearson here. But we're in a group of 6 riders with 3 kilometers to go. I actually don't really want to be on the front that much right now. So let's see if we can follow Pearson's wheel, since he seemed to be the rider they were working for. But we're inside of a kilometer to go, so let's open the sprint. We're at the front. It's super twisty, not really a chance to open the sprint yet. And that plays right into our hands because there's not enough time for anyone to come around us. So we're going to take the win. That is the first victory of Andy Schleck 2.0's career. So it's a monumental day today on the Spoked Wheel channel. It's been a long time coming. I thought we had maybe messed it up a little bit there, but it turned out that the finish was so technical that there was basically no time at all to come around the rider who was in front, and that just happened to be us. So that works out perfectly. We win the stage. I would imagine we're going to go into the race lead, and our team should be super happy with that. Let's jump ahead to the results to see. Yep, so there you have it. Andy Schleck's first win of this career, ahead of Daniel Pearson and Max Stedman. The Canyon duo got second and third. There was a gap of 18 seconds back to everyone basically who wasn't in that little group of 6 that we went over the top of the climb with. And the win with the bonus seconds is enough to put us into first. So we have a 4-second buffer on Pearson, 6 on Stedman. That's basically just with bonus seconds. And then 3 additional riders who we have 10 seconds on. So looking pretty good to go into the race lead after the first of 2 decisive stages, basically. Let's see what our team thought of that performance. So we get a bunch of points for our first win in Continental, also our first top 3 in Continental. I think that means that we will... Okay, not quite. We didn't quite level up, but next video we almost certainly will. So that puts us in a very good position as well. Like I said at the start, those 3 stages are going to be it for the racing in the video. So just a quick look ahead. Next time out, we will ride stages 4 and 5 of the Flèche du Sud, and hopefully hang on to the GC lead and take our first stage racing victory with Andy Schleck. And then we will also play the Winston-Salem Cycling Classic. I would consider us to be very outside favorites for that one. There's a chance to try and basically make a move in the final few kilometers, but it often comes down to a sprint in the end. But that's exciting. That's our first win. We're going to be in the yellow jersey, I would presume. We also probably have the Best Young Riders jersey. So that's good. That's a good win. Our team was setting us some pretty lofty goals with finishing first in the GC after stages 1 and 2, but I'm glad that we were able to capitalize and deliver on stage 3. So we have the proverbial monkey off our back, and hopefully now that we've got the first win out of the way, they'll start to come more regularly for Andy as we go forward in the career. So thank you as always for watching. I will be back again soon with the second half of the Flèche du Sud, where hopefully we can hang on for the win. But thanks again. I'll see you next time.